Hello, and welcome to this Good Vibes Experiment virtual mini workshop. This is the second of these workshops that I've created, and looking forward to creating more over 2021. So the purpose of these workshops is really just for us to take a few minutes out of our day to experiment with some kind of skills and activities that we can use to build or maintain or even begin to repair our mental health. So my name's Gareth. I'm one of the Good Vibes Experiment team here at Flinders University, and we're just basically going to spend the next 5 minutes working on our mental health. So in today's workshop, we are going to be focusing on the meditation and mindfulness tactic from the Good Vibes Experiment kind of program. And this tactic essentially involves us either formally or informally introducing moments of quiet reflection, focused attention, emotional grounding, or just kind of pauses into our day. And doing so can have multiple different benefits. So at its simplest, it can just encourage us to take a moment out of the day to quieten our mind, to take stock of how we're feeling, to slow things down a little bit, consider our options. And this is especially good if we're having one of those days where we feel like we're kind of just being dragged along by whatever is happening, or one of those days where we don't really feel like we're making many kind of deliberate or intentional choices of our own. We're just reacting to things as it happens. So that at its simplest, it can just be like a stop point or spread throughout those kinds of days. Now, at the more complex end, some people find that then experimenting with these moments of mindfulness or grounding throughout the day then inspires them to look more into formal meditation practice. And for some, that starts a lifelong interest in meditation and mindfulness practice. And certainly for myself and a lot of my colleagues, mindfulness-based meditation is kind of a core part of our personal mental health self-care. So the exercise that we're going to do today in relation to this tactic is called the 5-4-3-2-1 technique. And the reason for its name will become obvious in just a tick. So it's a simple technique. It's a grounding technique, essentially, that uses our attention to the five senses. So sight, sound, hearing, smell, and taste. You can use this technique to help ground you during episodes of high anxiety or high stress, or simply as a tool just to inject small mental breaks into the day. Now, you'll find descriptions of this technique online, but I'm going to guide you through the process now. I'll guide you through the 5-4-3-2-1 here in this video. And then once you understand the basics, to be honest, you'll be able to then guide yourself through this process. It's not one that you'll need to listen to a lot to really pick up the essence of what it is. So, to start off, just find a comfortable position. It might be sitting, it might be standing, it might be lying down. I find sitting tends to be the best in relation to this. And then I want you to just take a couple of deep breaths as a start point. And really focus on trying to breathe into your belly. The deeper you can breathe into your belly, the more relaxing the breath will be. And then just focus on some long, gentle exhales. Alrighty, so first up, I want you to take a look around you. Right? And I want you to try and notice and name in your head 5 things that you can see. And if you can, try noticing things that you don't normally see where you are. So for me, that might be a blemish on the wall or a little bit of damage in some of the furniture. And if you're noticing things like a lamp or a monitor or a chair, try, instead of calling it what it is or giving it its normal label, try describing actually what it is you see. So for a lamp, for example, I might say it's a curved cylindrical piece of metal on a base with a kind of a white conical section, and it's emitting light. So the purpose is to really focus in on what you're seeing rather than just simply labeling what it is that you see. Now I want you to try and reach out to 4 things in your environment that you can touch. And as you touch them, I want you to notice the texture, notice the temperature of the item. What does it feel like? If you want, you can pick the item up. How heavy or light is it? What does it feel like in the hand? And do that with 4 separate items. Now, I want you to notice and name in your head 3 things that you can hear. So if it helps, you can close your eyes. And focus on sounds that are both near, which might be the sound of my voice in the headphones or the speakers. Might be the sound of your tummy rumbling. But also try to notice something that you can hear that's from far away. Maybe the sound of a plane or traffic. Now I want you to notice and name in your head 2 things that you can smell. Now this might be starting to get a little harder if you're like me and you don't have a great sense of smell. But see if you can pick up the scent of maybe food that you've eaten, or perfume or deodorant, or and finally, I want you to notice and name in your head 1 thing that you can taste. Perhaps there's the remnant of a taste from a meal that you've just eaten, or a cup of tea that you've just had. And if you can't really get a sense of taste, just notice the textures in your mouth. Maybe what's the feel of your tongue? Is your mouth maybe a little dry, or there's a little bit of coarseness on your teeth that you can feel with your tongue? Just try to access the primary sensation in your mouth. And then to finish the exercise, I just want you to take another kind of final deep breath. And then take a moment to see if you can tune into all of those 5 senses simultaneously. Notice all of that sense data that's coming in. Things that you can see, the things you can hear. The feel of your clothes, the feel of items around you. What you can smell and what you can taste. And then that is the exercise. So this is a particularly good exercise to do, I think, when you are feeling quite lost in your head. So you're lost in thoughts. You're consumed by thinking about someone or something that's happened. You're kind of lost in your head. Maybe your attention's been kind of captured by a particularly sticky emotion. You're frustrated or angry or anxious or upset. And what it does is it kind of redirects your attention away from your internal world of thoughts and feelings and directs it towards the environment in which you are and your sense experience of that environment. So it can be a break from the chatter in your head, but it can also be a good way to ground yourself in the environment in which you're in, to notice more, to be more present with the place that you find yourself. So if you liked it, if you kind of enjoyed the process, then I definitely recommend trying to make it an occasional or a regular part of your daily repertoire. Something, for example, that you might do as you transition from one task or one activity to another, or when you transition particularly from one place to another. If you didn't like this exercise, or you found it a bit silly or unhelpful, then don't worry, because we're going to be exploring many more different and varied exercises in future episodes. So thank you for joining me for this little brief workshop today. Links to other Good Vibes experiments resources are in the information below. And have a good day, and I hope to see you in the next mini virtual workshop.